It's the rematch round of the North Bay League boys race. Last week, Montgomery avenged a 20-point loss at home by knocking off Cardinal Newman on the road. Tonight, it's Newman's turn to enact revenge as they face off against the Windsor Jaguars, the very team that knocked them off a few weeks ago, handing them their first loss of the year. Who will be celebrating on the floor at the end of tonight's game? Find out next on this week's Game of the Week. And we're at the John Fitzgerald Gymnasium tonight, where we have a big North Bay League boys matchup for you. It's the Windsor Jaguars at 13-7, 7-2 in league, taking on the Cardinal Newman Cardinals at 19-2. And Windsor handed them one of those losses a few weeks ago at Windsor High School. Hello, everyone. I'm Dave Cox, along with Ron Weathy, and a big revenge matchup here if you're Cardinal Newman. They led most of the way up in Windsor, but the Jags got hot late and stole that one, handing Newman their first loss of the year.
Yeah, it really hurt them in that game. They lost 43-36, and it was a game that they were outscored 14-7 in the fourth quarter. And Windsor was able to make 5 free throws toward the end of the game. They didn't miss one, made a couple threes. It was a big loss in league for them.
Really a key guy is James Ryan. You know that Windsor's going to try to shut down Connor Rubatino. He did well in the first meeting, and they won. But in that game at Windsor, he only had 6 points. That was a huge difference.
Yeah, that was back in the Brett Callan tournament. He ended up having 14 points in that contest, and that was back on the 19th of December. But he is really key for this team. In the meeting against Windsor, though, he made this outside shot right here, but that was only one of 6 points that he had made, and he's really key. Connor Rubatino, their leading scorer, had 19 points in both contests. We expect him to score the basketball. Gunnar Walker's going to get rebounds and putbacks, but James Ryan in the middle is very key. They don't have a shot blocker inside, so if Ryan can take you off the dribble, get in the paint, he's really going to be deadly for Cardinal Newman.
Windsor lives and die by the three-point shot. Gabe Knight, Brent Tucker, they got hot against Newman the last time they played, and they pulled it off.
They sure did. Gabe Knight ended up having 14 points in that game. He loves to shoot that outside shot from the top of the key. He's averaging 19 points, 10 rebounds on the season. And there is Tucker. Tucker can fire up from anywhere out on the floor. He can make it from 30 feet, unlimited. He's averaging 11 points. He had 17 points in that last win over Cardinal Newman. It was 43-36. They have the tiebreaker. Both teams are 7-2 in league, Dave. This will be a good game.
Well, last time they met, the Windsor cheering section mobbed the floor in celebration. We'll find out who celebrates here tonight. It's a big one. The Windsor Jaguars and the Cardinal Newman Cardinals coming up next, live on YSN365.com.
Rainwater, groundwater, problem water. Rainwater, groundwater, problem water.
I'm on it.
Dude, don't do it yourself.
No?
No. Leave it to the experts. With a Culligan Whole House Water Softening System, you get better water and service you can actually count on.
Hey, Culligan man.
Hey!
Oh, this is great.
I know. The only water that comes with the Culligan man.
Call your local Culligan dealer, James Fisher & Son, at 545-1330.
Rainwater, groundwater, problem water.
I'm on it.
Dude, don't do it yourself.
No?
No. Leave it to the experts. With a Culligan Whole House Water Softening System, you get better water and service you can actually count on.
Hey, Culligan man.
Hey!
Oh, this is great.
I know. The only water that comes with the Culligan man.
Call your local Culligan dealer, James Fisher & Son, at 545-1330.
Rainwater, groundwater, problem water.
I'm on it.
Dude, don't do it yourself.
No?
No. Leave it to the experts. With a Culligan Whole House Water Softening System, you get better water and service you can actually count on.
Hey, Culligan man.
Hey!
Oh, this is great.
I know. The only water that comes with the Culligan man.
Call your local Culligan dealer, James Fisher and Son, at 545-1330.
And welcome back. We are about ready to go here. We're going to meet the starting lineups now here at the Fitzgerald Gymnasium. It is Windsor with Knight, Kennedy, a great defensive player, Freeberg, Drew, and Brent Tucker for Cardinal Newman. This is their starting lineup tonight. Chad Souza, James Ryan, Connor Rubatino, Justin Boterri, and Gunnar Walker, the big guys down low, and we are ready to go. Dave Van Hall will toss it up at midcourt. It is camo night here at Cardinal Newman, and their crowd is fired up. Windsor brings a good contingent in here tonight as well, and we are off and running. Here's Gabe Knight guarded by Boterri. Thomas Drew double teamed, and here's Rubatino again. Out of bounds, who's got it?
I think it's really important to start this game for the Cardinal Newman Cardinals to get on the defensive glass against Windsor, because if there are missed shots, they turn into open threes, and Windsor shoots a very high percentage from the three-point line.
There's Boterri inside. Ryan got the pass into him. James Ryan now trying to drive and score, and he does. On cue, we talk about him in the open, and he steps up and scores the first basket of the night.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how good that ankle is. He twisted that ankle a while back. He has the brace on the right ankle. Looks like he's moving a lot better than last time we saw him against Montgomery.
And how about this North Bay League race? Now, Casa Grande is in first place by one game. Kind of a surprise. Montgomery, Newman, and Windsor all tied at 7-2, a game behind. Drive to the hoop by Freeberg. His shot disrupted by Boterri, and down with it is Connor Rubatino. Newman trying to run the floor, tapped out of bounds. Nice job by Freeberg to get back. There's Travis Taylor. Third year here at Windsor, and Tom Bonfili on the other side. You have graphics for them. Rubatino, got it. That's a two just inside the line. Scored 19 points in the last meeting. Didn't have a field goal in the fourth quarter, however.
Yeah, and Windsor got hot, and then they made their free throws toward the end of that contest, that game. They won in Windsor 43-36 on the 14th of January.
Gabe Knight, hard to the rack, gets his own miss. Boterri thought he had a clean block, but it's called a foul.
Yeah, I'd like to see that one again. That looked pretty good. He did swing at it a little bit, and oftentimes when you swing at a shot, even though you block it cleanly, you'll end up getting the call from the official. But they're working around the ball against the man-to-man defense. There's Windsor inside, the shot up, and then the putback and I think that looked like a pretty good block to me. Nice defense, but Tucker here at the free throw line. Gabe Knight, I'm sorry.
Gabe Knight doesn't get either. Rebound goes to Ryan. Here comes Newman now with a 4-0 lead. Connor Rubatino guarded by Parker Kennedy. That's a very good matchup. Parker Kennedy, an excellent defender. Ryan on the baseline, no good. Thomas Drew comes down with the rebound.
One thing you'll notice about the Windsor Jaguars, they do not have a true post center down there. They have about 3 forwards down on the block. They're not a team that you're threatened by going inside and trying to make a layup for a block. Kennedy can get up, though, however. He can block some shots.
Kennedy guarded by Ryan, under 5:40 to go first quarter. Windsor has yet to score. Knight will try and change that, and he does with a three. Gabe Knight.
Wow, what a beautiful stroke he's got. He'll shoot it from anywhere on the floor. He and Tucker can shoot it from up to 30 feet out there.
Chad Souza trying to penetrate. Settles for Boterri up top, just beyond the elbow. Now it's Gunnar Walker way outside. A 4-3 lead now for Newman after that three-point shot by Knight. Under 10 seconds to shoot for the Cardinals. Souza gets it to Rubatino. Rubatino tries to shake free underneath and works his way to the free throw line.
Well, a good strategy by Connor Rubatino there. Get it inside. They don't have the true shot blocker down inside like Cardinal Newman does with Gunnar Walker. So try to take it inside, try to get to the glass, and if not, get to the free throw line.
Connor Rubatino, he's had a bunch of great games, scored over 20 points many times when we've covered the Cardinals, and he now has 4 points to make it a 3-point lead.
Cardinal Newman changing it up, going to the full court press.
Parker Kennedy tries an outside shot, and that one's knocked out of bounds.
All right, let's see the matchups here on defense for Cardinal Newman on this inbounds play. You'd have to think that Gunnar Walker's going to control the inside.
Inbound, Gabe Knight, and he's tripped by Walker, and that'll be Walker's first personal foul.
Yeah, Walker went out on the switch out to the three-point line. You got to get it a hand in Knight's face, so he had to go out there, and Knight tried to get by him. Walker picks up his first. For him to stay out of foul trouble, that's important in this game, for Gunnar Walker to not be in foul trouble.
Souza taps that one out of bounds. Good defense so far for Newman. Gabe Knight has the only field goal. However, it was a three-point basket for the Jags.
In the first matchup that Cardinal Newman won, Gunnar Walker, the center, 6'8" center for Cardinal Newman, he had 8 points in that game.
Parker Kennedy doesn't get it. There's Boteri.
Well, Kennedy now 0 for 2.
For Boteri.
Yep, if he can find his range outside, and he has the ability to shoot that shot, that'll open up things for Tucker and Knight.
Souza gets it to Rubatino. Long three, and Rubatino nails it. That is not an easy shot, fading from the right wing.
Well, I'm sure that's the start he would like to have gotten off to if he came into this game and was going to talk about it, because I know against Montgomery he didn't shoot the ball so well the last game we covered. Actually, he didn't get to touch the ball much in that game as well.
Gabe Knight stepping back, doesn't get it, and there's Souza. The key for Windsor is to hang in there, not get too far behind, and when Tucker and Knight get hot, make a run at it, James Ryan hits again.
Well, we've talked about it all year. James Ryan has the ability to knock that shot off down, and now Knight trying to go backdoor there.
Here's Rubatino. That would have counted.
Well, one thing you can see out here is that Rubatino came with a mindset tonight to score the basketball. He's getting to the basket, putting pressure on the defense. And the shots that he hasn't made, he's been able to create the contact and get to the free throw line.
Rubatino misses that one. He already has 7 points as James Ryan takes a break. Damian Wallace checking in. Wallace had mainly played the point off the bench in the early season. Now he's playing a little more too because of the injury to James Ryan. As Rubatino gets the second. 8 points now for Connor here in the first quarter. Just under 3 to go, and it's a timeout now taken by Windsor.
Now, when Wallace comes into the game, it adds a little bit more quickness. The left-hander is pretty crafty out there on the floor. He's a very quick defender, and he likes to penetrate into the lane and create opportunities for the others, or get to the glass, create the contact, and lay it in.
We're going to take a look at the standings here in the North Bay League and show you why this is such a big game. Right now, Casa Grande leads the pack, and then look at the tie for second right now between 3 teams. Montgomery and Newman split. Windsor beat Newman the first time they met. Last meeting, you see it over there, was that 14-7 fourth quarter run by the Jags that ended up putting Newman away.
see how Windsor handles the pressure of the full court press. And Wallace is really tough on defense. He'll get right in your grill here, and he can come up with steals and run the floor. So let's see how this Windsor team does against the press.
Chase Knowles has checked in for Windsor. Also Jalen Roman. There's Brent Tucker, a little strong. Souza comes down with a rebound. His second. Wallace in the open floor, and the lefty shot is rejected by Gabe Knight. Big time block right there. Wallace tries to return the favor with a steal, but can't. Here's Tucker now going behind the back. Jalen Roman open from three.
Well, you can see what
McCarthy.
Cardinal Newman's trying to do on defense. Gunnar Walker, the 6'8 center, has switched on defense in between Knight and Brent Tucker. There was the drive and the rejection by Gabe Knight. Wallace trying to get to the basket, but Knight had none of that. But Gunnar Walker is playing defense, and he's been on Knight and he's been on Tucker. So the 6'8 guy trying to get a hand in their face.
Rubatino has 10, getting off to a hot start here at home. And now McCarthy fouls Gabe Knight in the open floor. A call Coach Bonfili wasn't thrilled about because he saw that Gabe Knight had his arm out as they were moving down the floor, and he thought that created the contact. But the call goes against Newman. That's 3 team fouls against the Cardinals.
Yeah, the matchups are going to be key on defense here. McCarthy's got Knight. Can Knight create enough space along with Tucker to get a shot? Kennedy might have to come up with a couple shots, but he's got Rubatino on him. So when you're playing against Cardinal Newman, you got your work cut out for you here.
Parker Kennedy inside, a little short. Windsor has hit just one of their field goals so far in this first quarter. Souza, nice little fader. Count it. Chad Souza with a chance for an old-fashioned.
Well, we've seen Souza all season. He keeps maturing as a leader, the point guard on this basketball team. And here he recognizes the defense, gets in the lane, puts the shot up, and gets to the free throw line. That was excellent recognition in transition before the defense actually had a chance to set up.
Souza completes the three-point play, and it's 17-3. Kind of similar to what the Newman girls did to Windsor last night. They got up to a 12-0 start and never looked back.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine this game is going to maintain this. I don't think Cardinal Newman can maintain this lead against this team because they're so streaky on shooting the three.
Parker Kennedy off the glass, a much-needed basket for Windsor. Kennedy, who averages 7.3 points and 7.8 rebounds a game, picking up some scoring slack here in the first quarter. Rubatino tries it again and nails it again. 13 points for Rubatino, and the lead is 15 for Newman. Wallace goes for the steal and has it. Damian Wallace to the rack, and Newman leads by 17.
Maybe they're going to prove me wrong. Cardinal Newman has come to play tonight, and it's all about the defense. The defense, the defense, the defense. Windsor has 5 points in the first quarter with 8 seconds to go.
Gabe Knight trying to finish the quarter for Windsor, doesn't get it. Kennedy blocked by Rubatino. Rubatino turns and throws one the length of the floor and almost got it. That's it for the first quarter. Connor Rubatino with 13 points for Newman, and it's 22-5. The Cardinals lead the Jaguars after one here at the John Fitzgerald on the YSN 365.com Game of the Week. Tonight's game presented by title sponsor Cameron & Cameron Ranch and Vineyard Supply, delivering quality for over 40 years.
My friends and I were driving to the Salt Lake Airport to fly to a music teachers conference when our tires started going flat. We called the Les Schwab in Ogden, Utah, and they said,
"Come on in."
They were so fast, we didn't even eat the free popcorn.
There you go.
And we even made our flight. In a world where such great customer service is not always the case, it's nice to know there's Les Schwab. I'm Bonnie Lamborn, and that's my Les Schwab story.
Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
All right, there's the Newman cheerleaders. Plenty to be happy about as they lead it 22-5.
Wow, what a start for Cardinal Newman. Connor Rubatino was amazing in the first quarter, but also Connor McCarthy on defense, Gunnar Walker on defense. They held Tucker and Knight to basically nothing in that first quarter. And let's see if they can continue that trend on defense. It was impressive.
Start of quarter number 2. Newman with the ball to start things off. Good crowd here tonight. All the crowds have been great after the holiday break. Before that, they were a little sparse, but it's been a lot of fun. All the gyms have been loud and crazy, and that's what high school basketball should be like. Playing in front of your friends and family and playing for school pride. Here's Damian Wallace to the rack. Nice defense by Tucker. He comes down with the miss. And here come the Jags. Trying to get in rhythm right now. They have had a very difficult time. And Newman comes up with another big defensive play. The pass ahead to McCarthy. He tracks it down, finds Doolittle, and Doolittle goes to the line. Seth Doolittle got Knight off his feet.
Yeah, exactly. And Connor Rubatino with, Connor McCarthy with a great pass underneath. But how about the block by James Ryan down low? Getting to the hole, Kennedy denied, sent away, and they're breaking off blocks.
Seth Doolittle misses the first one.
That was really impressive by Ryan because Kennedy, he can get up. I mean, he can jump and dunk the basketball with no problem, and Ryan just met him at the top and denied that shot.
Yeah, there is no doubt he is a terrific overall athlete. See the team fouls pretty close thus far. Chase Knowles loses his feet. Bo Terry saves it for the Cardinals.
Windsor is still in a man-to-man defense. They started out in a man-to-man. They remain in the man-to-man defense.
James Ryan shakes free from Jalen Roman, and that creates a space for Connor McCarthy. And now it's Gabe Knight who comes down with the rebound. Both teams playing very hard, but so far Windsor has not been able to get the ball to drop. That one off the mark. Damian Wallace has the rebound, and he's fouled by Jalen Roman.
One of my keys for tonight's game was going to be the defensive glass for Cardinal Newman. Don't let Windsor get to the offensive glass, because after you get an offensive rebound, the defenders lose their matchups, and there's open threes to be shot. Tonight so far, Cardinal Newman has done a great job on the defensive glass and in the half-court set as well. I mean, they've held Windsor to 5 points, and we're in the second quarter.
James Ryan guarded by Roman. Ryan had a good first quarter, and Roman fouls him. That's the second on Jalen Roman. Ryan had 4 points in the opening quarter. It was really Connor Rubatino, though. He had 13 points right out of the gate tonight. When he gets hot, he's almost unstoppable.
Yeah, we've seen him a number of times. And he's had some of the most impressive performances that we have seen this year. Michael Septimo's performance, Connor Rubatino.
Yeah, Septimo had 32. Looked like a shoo-in for the YSN Player of the Week, but Jalen Busby scored 42 on Friday night and outdid him.
Yeah, Paulson had 18 in the first half of one game. We saw that against Casa Grande. We've seen some big numbers go up, but none bigger than tonight because Cardinal Newman has a 24-5 lead here in the early second quarter. So they're doing it on the offensive end, and they're just holding Windsor down as far as scoring the basketball.
The Cardinals have a 19-point lead right now. Here's Roman trying to get inside. It's Kennedy now. Newman playing some lockdown man-to-man defense right now. Thomas Drew, nice spin to the rack. Thomas Drew is one of those guys that doesn't really try to score much. He just tries to get rebounds and defense, but he's a great athlete, and he showed it right there.
Yeah, it was a nice step through and a drop step into the baseline and laying it into glass.
Souza tries a long three. Gabe Knight right there for the rebound, his third rebound. Windsor trying to tighten things up a little. Here comes Kennedy, and it looks like Souza got him on his way to the rack, so Kennedy will shoot. Actually, they're going to call that before. No, he is going to the line. I thought they might call it before.
Well, I think his step was all the way to the line. What a nice move that was right there. What a nice drop step and creating space. You got to figure out a way to score the basketball. Use that little drop step, spin, and lose the defender to get to the glass and lay it in. Kennedy, the third leading scorer on this team, is going to be required to score the basketball here tonight. And if I'm him, I'm going to take every opportunity off the dribble to try to get to the basket.
Kennedy does have 4 points now as Windsor has scored a couple times in a row down the floor. Now they're trying to get a stop against Cardinal Newman. Souza guarded by Tucker. Ryan with Kennedy. Slides it through to Doolittle. The Cardinals trying to work it around the defense. Now they get it inside to Bo Terry. Good matchup with Drew. A little strong. There's Knight again.
I think that was Windsor's best defensive set in the half court.
Knight, who's good at creating off the dribble, but Tucker is a catch and shoot guy, and there he is with the catch and the shoot and the three.
I'm telling you, do not count these guys out. They trail by 12 points in the second quarter, but don't count Windsor out. If they get hot from outside, they can light it up.
Rubatino over the top, doesn't get it. Knight has 5 rebounds now. Windsor going on a little run right now, 7 straight points. Gabe Knight kicks it to Parker Kennedy. Knight guarded by Doolittle. They'll post him up. Knight, fader, off the mark. Drew tries to follow, no good. Still alive for the Jags. Tucker misses. Drew comes down with it. Tie-up, possession arrow favoring Windsor.
Wow, 2 offensive opportunities for putbacks, and Windsor Jaguars cannot convert. They stayed with it, though. They've got the basketball, and that's what they need to do. Get to that offensive glass, try to score that basketball.
Roman with the inbound. There's Kennedy. Parker Kennedy to the rack. 6 points, and it's a 9-0 run for the Jags.
That's what I'm thinking. With his athleticism, get to the basket. If you have to take it off the dribble, do the back cut, whatever you got to do, get that basketball right to the hoop.
Daniel Walker tries to stop the bleeding and can't. Windsor trying to tighten it up even further. They've cut it to 10. It was 19 just moments ago. Kennedy underneath. McCarthy taps it away. The ball will stay with the Jags.
All right, on these inbound plays, it's pretty easy to get a screen and work our way and lose the guy you're guarding. So watch for Windsor to get open.
Nice steal by Ryan underneath. Here comes Ryan all the way, and he lays it in. A big play right there as he gets the steal and the lay-in to get the momentum back for Cardinal Newman.
Yeah, how smooth was that in the open court? He saw the trailer. Rubatino kind of sold the ball, but took it himself and laid it in. James Ryan is playing well here tonight.
We talked about the fact that Ryan really needed to have a big game tonight. So far he has. Tucker tries for his second 3 in a row. Thomas Drew with another offensive rebound for the Jags. 3-ball, side pocket. Parker Kennedy, 9 points for Kennedy, already over his average on the season.
And then it was 9.
Rubatino, Connor Rubatino with 15 now for Cardinal Newman. Big answer right there, 2 times in a row. Ryan and Rubatino, the R&R brothers.
Well, one thing you'd notice is Walker is on Tucker still, and Tucker's having a tough time getting the open look. Kennedy's the man, though. Take Rubatino off the dribble and try to create the shot.
And that is the problem for Windsor. Is they really don't have a big man, a true post player, that can keep Gunnar Walker under the basket.
Yeah, I think it's a great strategy. I mean, it's worked well so far.
Souza on the left wing, 2:05 to go in the half. Ryan back to Souza. Off the mark, kept alive by Roman, but he tapped it a little too hard. It'll be Newman's ball.
Okay, so if you're Windsor, you're on the defensive end of the floor, and you trailed by a lot early, 19. Now you only trail by 11. There's 2 minutes to go in the second. You got to get a stop here. You got to prevent them from scoring the basketball and then get down the floor on the offensive end.
Tapped by Walker. Walker trying to corral it, but Drew ends up with the ball. Thomas Drew with 4 rebounds to help the Windsor cause. Jags trailing by 11 now. See if they can tighten it up. Bo Terry all over Gabe Knight, and he takes a timeout. Second timeout used. It'll be a 30.
Yeah, he was trying to avoid the 5-second call right there. He saw it coming. The official was counting, and he called the timeout to prevent the turnover. That's a really smart play by Knight. So you're inside that huddle right there for Cardinal Newman. Coach Bonfili, you're saying keep playing good defense, keep pressuring them, pressure them outside the three-point line, put a lot of pressure outside the perimeter, and watch that backdoor cut by Kennedy. He's trying to get to the basket.
There's the Bonfili foul. We keep adding to that. Now he has 691 wins, just 9 short of 700. That is a very big number in high school coaching. Couple of league titles at Justin Siena. Not all 33 years were right here at Newman. He spent a lot of time at Justin Siena over at Napa before returning to Cardinal Newman and coaching at his alma mater. Parker Kennedy up top. Now it's Brent Tucker. Here comes Gabe Knight around the screen, but Wallace stays right with him. Tucker, as the shot clock expires, that's the problem with taking a timeout deep into the shot clock. You tend to lose track when you come out of the timeout, and a lot of times teams don't even get a shot off at all.
Well, the strategy for Cardinal Newman is to have Gunnar Walker prevent the three. So if I'm Brent Tucker, I've got Gunnar Walker guard me. I'm going to take him off the dribble and get to the basket because he's much quicker than Gunnar. Gunnar can't stay with him off the dribble, so take advantage of what they're giving you.
Souza in the corner under a minute. Newman by 11. Boterri, no. Wallace, yes, and one. Damian Wallace, the sophomore, makes a big play as he gets the offensive rebound, the putback, and the foul.
Yeah, how many times have we seen it this year? His ability to get inside, his strength, and most of his action happens on the left side of the basket. He's really left-hand dominant. There's the shot right there, the rebound on the weak side, and timing it and being able to get that shot up without getting it blocked was really impressive.
Wallace does complete the three-point play. He has 5 points, and that makes it a 14-point lead. Will Windsor be able to answer now as we go under 45 seconds? There's Wallace with another steal, and did he get the timeout call? I'm not sure.
I think they gave him the timeout, but I don't understand how they can give him the timeout.
He didn't really have possession.
He didn't have possession of the basketball.
Yeah,
so,
they gave it to him.
Yeah, he got to the floor. He made the hustle play. It was a great effort, but he used both hands to call a timeout, and he didn't have possession of the basketball. You can't. I don't believe they can do that.
Yeah, it's kind of physically impossible, right? Let's see if we can pick it up here.
I mean, if he had it wrapped up in his legs, in his stomach, I guess you could call it. But let's take a look. Maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong before. I'll tell you that. Here it is right here. He's got the basketball, and he called timeout.
Somewhere in there.
Somewhere in there.
He'd have the ball kind of in his belly a little bit. So
yeah, from the angle we had straight angle to him and a little bit different angle. But you know what? Hustle play. When you're hustling like that, it often comes back to you. And a great play by Wallace right there.
There's Coach Bonfili. Sure, he appreciated Wallace saving the possession. Hadn't used a timeout, so it wasn't a bad move at all. Newman has a chance to shoot right near the end of the quarter. The shot clock and game clock are only off by about 2.5 seconds.
Windsor has that defense stretched all the way out. You got to watch Wallace, though. He'll take you off the dribble and get past you.
Wallace with 10 on the shot clock, 12 in the quarter. Drew almost got a steal. Boterri, a little unsure of himself. He shoots, and he gets to the line with 2 seconds on the shot clock. Windsor crowd not particularly thrilled with that one.
Yeah, really great hustle there by Drew. And then getting to the basket. And Boterri getting to the free throw line.
A little bump from Drew as Boterri gets the roll. First basket of the night for Justin Boterri.
Yeah, great job by Freeberg on defense on Wallace. He's going to go to the bench. Knight coming in. Well, at 5.6 seconds, let's see if Cardinal Newman puts a full court press to try to prevent them from getting up and getting an open shot. But you can dribble, pass a couple times, and then still get the shot off.
And that will do it for the quarter. 32-17. Newman by 15 at the end of the first half. We'll take a break right here. Be back with the highlights of the first half of play, some team totals, and maybe even a little bit of cheerleader action here at the break.
North Bay Elite AAU girls basketball attending the top NCAA showcases in the country, with former players competing at the NCAA Division I, II, III, and NAIA levels, winners of 2 Pacific District Level 1 national qualifiers. For the best in girls AAU basketball, it's the North Bay Elite.
My wife and I were stranded after suffering our second flat tire on a hot August day. Our 3 horses were thirsty and there was no help in sight. We called Les Schwab, and luckily Justin answered the phone.
Les Schwab Tire Center.
And even though it was after closing, Justin came to our rescue. He drove an hour with tires and even brought water for our horses. We'll never buy tires anywhere else.
Take care now.
I'm Larry Butler, and that's my Les Schwab story.
Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
Are you searching for a great high school experience? Cardinal Newman is the only Catholic college preparatory high school in Santa Rosa. Be a part of a community where you will be known and supported during these key years of growth. Be a part of a fun and positive student body who embraces challenge and responsibility through faith, academics, service, visual and performing arts, and competition. Learn how to apply at cardinalnewman.org. North Bay Elite AAU girls basketball attending the top NCAA showcases in the country, with former players competing at the NCAA Division I, II, III, and NAIA levels, winners of 2 Pacific District Level 1 national qualifiers. For the best in girls AAU basketball, it's the North Bay Elite.
All right, time for the Newman cheerleaders to take the floor. Let's sit back and enjoy their halftime routine. Nice job by the Newman cheerleaders. We'll take another break right here and be back with more here at the half at the John Fitzgerald Gymnasium.
Rainwater, groundwater, problem water.
I'm on it.
Dude, don't do it yourself.
No?
No. Leave it to the experts. With a Culligan Whole House Water Softening System, you get better water and service you can actually count on.
Hey, Culligan man.
Hey!
Oh, this is great.
I know.
The only water that comes with the Culligan Man.
Call your local Culligan dealer, James Fisher and Son, at 545-1330.
Rainwater. Groundwater. Problem water.
I'm on it.
Dude, don't do it yourself.
No?
No. Leave it to the experts. With a Culligan Whole House Water Softening System, you get better water and service you can actually count on.
Hey, Culligan man.
Hey!
Oh, this is great.
I know.
The only water that comes with the Culligan Man.
Call your local Culligan dealer, James Fisher and Son, at 545-1330.
One Saturday night, someone went through town slashing tires. Sunday morning, one of Andy Spencer's customers at Les Schwab went to Andy's house to see if he could help.
You got it.
Andy got in his truck and drove up and down the streets, helping anyone who needed it. He worked at it pretty hard most of the day.
That's all of them.
Andy didn't tell anybody no. He really went above and beyond his duties as a manager and a neighbor. I'm James Hamilton, and that's my Les Schwab story.
Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
Wild California, featuring the crispiest, crunchiest, most delicious and healthy snack around. Watch out, potato chips. Things are about to get wild. Available in Sonoma County at Oliver's Market, G&G, and Molesbury's. Tonight's game presented by title sponsor Cameron & Cameron Ranch and Vineyard Supply, delivering quality for over 40 years.
My friends and I were driving to the Salt Lake Airport to fly to a music teachers conference when our tires started going flat. We called the Les Schwab in Ogden, Utah, and they said,
Come on in.
they were so fast, we didn't even eat the free popcorn.
There you go.
And we even made our flight. In a world where such great customer service is not always the case, it's nice to know there's Les Schwab. I'm Bonnie Lamborn, and that's my Les Schwab story.
Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
Welcome back here at the half. Nice crowd enjoying the halftime show, and right now the Cardinal Newman crowd enjoying the score, 32-17, a 15-point lead, trying to avenge that last loss on the road at Windsor a couple of weeks ago. So far, the strategy that they've imparted has been a very good one, and they're playing one of the better games we've seen them play, at least a better half than we've seen them play in quite some time.
Yeah, we've covered Cardinal Newman a number of times, and I don't believe that I've seen them play a better all-around game than the first half that we've seen tonight against Windsor. They've won a lot of games. They were 17-0 at one point before they lost 2 in league. They're 7-2 in league right now. But this is a team that's doing it on the defensive end. Their matchups on defense. Their centers coming out and playing the three-point shooter and getting a hand in his face. They're doing a great job on the defensive glass. Windsor is going to have to change some stuff out there on the floor.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they try to do in the second half. Let's take a look at the highlights now of the first half of play. It was Connor Rubatino and James Ryan that got off to a great start for the Cardinals.
Yeah, James Ryan had a really good first half. He had 7 points in that half. There he is getting into the lane, elevating and shooting that jump shot, the 6'3", 190-pound forward. And then there's Mr. Big Shot, Connor Rubatino. He had 13 points in the first quarter, 15 in the half. He did it always. He made it to the free throw line. He knocked shots down from the outside. He made threes. He stretched the defense. And that guy is just amazing from outside. That was Ryan actually on that shot right there. But Cardinal Newman moved the basketball well. They were able to get Rubatino open looks. He created some on his own. But this is a team that did really well on the defensive end as well. There's Souza. He got in the lane one time and able to make that. That was great recognition by Chad Souza on that shot. He actually got to the free throw line then and was able to make the free throw. But Cardinal Newman on the defensive end has done a great job. But for Windsor, they're going to have to find a way to get Gabe Knight involved in the offense and not let Wallace steal the basketball, run up and down the floor, and get easy layups like we just saw right there on the replay. Windsor has to have, if Gunnar Walker is still going to be guarding Tucker, I think Tucker's got to take him off the dribble. Gunnar Walker's a good defender. He's just not as quick as Tucker. And on the other hand, they got to run some high ball screens for Knight and Tucker to get some open shots. Kennedy's got to get to the basket. If I'm coach, I'm sending everybody to the offensive glass.
All right, let's take a look at the Windsor highlights of that first half. Took them a while to get going. They had to a really tough start once they did, they made it interesting.
Yeah, well, they only had 5 points with 2 minutes gone in the second quarter. Then they came alive. They have 17 here at the half right now. 32-17 is the score. They trail by 15. But there's Knight showing he's got tremendous leaping ability, blocking that shot by Wallace. Kennedy getting to the hoop. I like him. He's a tremendous athlete down low. And then here's Knight off the dribble, the outside shot, missing that one. But then active on the glass was Windsor. And then there's the nice step, spin move, and laying it in was Drew on that shot right there. Windsor's going to have to be aggressive on the offensive end. The defense, you know, actually they didn't do too bad on defense. They held Cardinal Newman to 32 points, or 32 points in the first half. So they did a pretty good job. Continue to try to work on the defensive end, get Kennedy the basketball on the back cut, and try to score the basketball and get back in this game. I think, Dave, they need to cut it to 8. That should be their goal. Cut it to 8 by the end of the third quarter. They had it down to 9, but then Cardinal Newman came back.
All right, we're ready to start the third quarter. There's the Newman crowd having a great time. Nice job by our replay director and engineer, Marty Kornfeld, for those halftime highlights. I want to thank our title sponsor tonight, Les Schwab Tires of Sonoma County. As always, taking care of us here on the Game of the Week. They do a great job with 4 locations in Sonoma County, Windsor, 2 in Santa Rosa, and 1 at Roner Park. These guys truly care about local sports here in Sonoma County. They've been a big supporter of YSN365.com over the years, and I know everyone involved in high school athletics appreciates their support.
Yeah, well, these games don't happen without their help, so it's really fantastic, and we really appreciate it. And anybody else wants to participate, I'd love it.
Here's Connor Rubatino. And we've been able to bring a lot of games to you, but it is not easy finding the funding. We really need more sponsors to step up in the business community and help us keep these games going.
Silently right there, Gunnar Walker picking up his second foul of the contest.
Gabe Knight trying to drive. Hasn't been able to shake free. Hit his first 3. That was one of the early baskets that got Windsor going, but those were few and far between. Tucker tries one from way outside, and Drew, who had a good first half, gets a rebound. He had 4 rebounds. The teams were even with 11 rebounds each in the first half. Not a whole lot of turnovers. Windsor had 4, Newman had 2, but both teams did a pretty good job of taking care of the ball despite some pretty intense defensive pressure.
Yeah, Cardinal Newman had that press oftentimes in that first half. Remember, long shots, long rebounds out here. So if you're shooting a 3, it's going to bounce long. You got to be aware as a rebounder where that basketball is going to come off at.
Rubatino gets fouled. That's going to be 3 free ones. Gabe Knight got him beyond the arc. You can see a little frustration right now setting in for the Jags.
Souza off the dribble. Bateri, Rubatino, and Connor doing a great job just kind of drifting to the open spot before he was able to receive that pass from Bateri and get the shot off. Well, starting out just like the first half. Connor Rubatino had 13 in the first quarter. Here he is starting the third quarter at the free throw line. Missing that one, however.
Rubatino has made 1 of 2 in this sequence, which makes it a 16-point lead for Newman. And he gets 2 of 3.
Well, he sure has a lot of rotation on that basketball when he releases it. Got a great release.
Windsor down by 17 now. Kennedy led Windsor in scoring in the first half. I'm not sure how many times that's happened this year for the Jags, where Parker Kennedy has outscored both Tucker and Knight combined in the first half of play.
Rubatino playing center field there with that left hand, catching that one. That ball was going to go back court.
Souza behind a double screen. The rebound goes to Jalen Roman. Roman trying to run the floor, gets fouled. Souza got him out up front. That's Souza's second personal foul.
So Windsor hasn't been that effective in the half-court set on offense. They haven't been able to score the basketball. Cardinal Newman's done a great job. What they can do, as soon as they get the rebound, push the ball. Push it before the matchups happen, before they can get set on defense, and find somebody in transition to shoot that basketball or drive to the hoop. You got to put pressure on it. You got to change what you've been doing in that first half.
Roman gets 1 of 2. Just recently signed a football scholarship to Western Oregon, so congratulations to Jalen Roman. Signing day is tomorrow. A lot of Empire kids are making decisions on where they want to go to the next level.
Yeah, quite the athlete. You could see him dribbling up the floor with what speed and determination. Don't get in his way.
Thomas Drew gets a steal. Chase Knowles has it now in the open floor. One of just 3 turnovers for the Cardinals. Parker Kennedy for 3. He has 12 points.
There's the example I was referring to. Shoot the ball in transition before the defense has an opportunity to set up.
Boterry double teamed at the elbow, and he goes to the line.
I think it'd be a lot better off for Windsor. There's some good defense right there, huh? Against Boterry, and Boterry trying to work to the baseline. I believe that was a little bit earlier, but Boterry, he's tough down low, and he has the ability to get to the basket, get to the free throw line, and he shoots a high percentage from the free throw line as well.
Boterry gets 1 of 2. He has 2 points.
Okay, so they looks like they're going to go to a man-to-man full court press.
Here's Roman now to Kennedy. Jags need somebody to get hot. Will it be Tucker? Will it be Knight? Right now, Knight is sitting for the Jags. Travis Taylor, their head coach, trying to get some other guys into the flow and see if somebody can pick up the scoring slack. Here's Parker Kennedy firing away from 3. And it's Connor McCarthy who comes down with his 3rd rebound. Newman by 14. They had as big as a 19-point lead in the second quarter before Windsor cut it to 9. Connor Rubicino gets Tucker in the air, comes down with his own miss, and gets to the line.
Yeah, an alert play by Connor. He followed his shot is what happened on that. He let that one go, and he was aware where it was bouncing off and followed his shot, got back, got that shot back up, and picking up the foul. So watch him. He's going to shoot the shot. He sees it's a miss. He sees it's coming off, and he's quicker to the basket right there.
Rubicino doesn't get either free throw, and it'll be Windsor's ball. That was tapped out by Connor McCarthy.
Okay, so this
gives a little break there for the Jags.
Yeah, gives Cardinal Newman a chance to set up their defense. But once you break the defense, don't just walk it up. Push it up. Get that ball up, set, run your offense.
Knight still on the bench. They try to post up Parker Kennedy, and he's fouled from behind by James Ryan. That's his first. 3rd team foul against Newman. The team's even now with 3 team fouls apiece.
Well, watch for Kennedy or Tucker on this inbounds play here.
Nice move by Kennedy to shake free, and he scores easily.
Yeah, he drifted out, saw the opening in the baseline. The defense was pressuring, and went to the baseline and laid it in.
A steal for the Jags, and Drew is fouled by Rubicino. Thomas Drew comes up with a nice play on defense, and Rubicino ends up with the personal foul.
There's Kennedy, he saw, and then Rubicino lost him just for a second, and he was able to cut to the basket and receive the pass. And a nice alert play by the Windsor Jaguars.
So an important possession right here for Windsor in terms of momentum. 4 minutes to go, third quarter, and they can cut it to 9 with a three-point basket. And now Wallace fouls Chase Knowles up top.
Yeah, I like Knowles pushing the ball. He got by Wallace, and he pushed. Dribble up the floor. Let's get it up there quickly. I think Windsor's going to succeed at a higher level if they kind of mess this game up and make it a full-court basketball game.
Roman in the corner. To Kennedy. Kennedy with a little shuffle step gets called for traveling.
Yep, he received it right in his hands and put a little stutter step right before he got going.
Such a huge difference in the way they call it in high school compared to the NBA. You do anything that looks even a little bit out of the ordinary, they whistle you for traveling in high school basketball. Chase Knowles with a steal and a lay-in, and that cuts the lead to 10. They're doing this with Gabe Knight, their leading scorer at 19 points a game, sitting on the bench.
Well, they're doing it with defense and alert passing. And now they're on the defensive end. Can they stop Cardinal Newman again?
Parker Kennedy, shuffling his feet, fouls James Ryan. That's the fourth team foul against the Jags. Here's their steal by Knowles. Great anticipation right here.
Yeah, Wallace kind of just turned it over on his own right, but Knowles taking advantage and laying it in and cutting the lead to 10. 35-25.
That was the second personal foul on Parker Kennedy. He'll have to be careful here in the third quarter. Rubatino got the roll. Oh my goodness, that is a friendly home court roll right there. That shot was pretty far off the mark.
Yeah, he created a little space, a little bit of push off with the left hand, but was able to get the roll on that one.
Wallace tries to return the favor with a steal. The possession arrow favors Windsor. So Wallace sure did not like the fact that Knowles was able to steal it from him, tried to get it right back and did a pretty nice job, although the arrow went the Jaguars' way.
You know, think about Rubatino. When he shoots a basketball and he puts that rotation on the ball, when it hits the rim, it softens the shot and it has a chance to roll around and go in. You're going to shoot a higher percentage if you have a nice rotation on the ball that you release.
And these are pretty soft rims. We saw that with Septimo last week again in the Montgomery Newman game. He had a lot of balls that kind of rattled around, bounced up, and ended up rolling in.
Yeah, and a lot of net, too.
Yeah, he had a few that were all net. There's Rubatino. That one is all net.
Yeah, speaking of all net.
21 points now for Rubatino. The lead back up to 14. Every time Windsor gets it going, back come the Cardinals, and they build the lead back up. And that was that first quarter stretch that really put Windsor in a hole as Gabe Knight checks back in now. See if he can get it going right now. Gabe Knight has that lone three-point basket that he made way back at the beginning of the first quarter for the Jags.
Yeah, he's going to have to be careful to not just try to force it. He's got to wait for the open shot.
Knight over Boteri, off the mark. How about Chad Souza with 3 rebounds so far tonight? He's having a good game. There's Boteri up to Souza. Rubatino trying to shake free on the backside as Damian Wallace gets it to him. Roman right there, but Rubatino fires away, no good. Tapped out. It's going to be Newman's ball. Tucker tapped it out of bounds.
You know, you talk about Jalen Roman out there playing defense on Connor Rubatino. You know, he's done a good job on defense out here. He's played well. He's had a hand in his face all the time. He's right there with Connor Rubatino, but Rubatino is just shooting better than the defense is.
Wallace gets it to Walker. Walker finds Souza open, a 15-footer. Bang! Souza hits it to make it a 41-25 game. Newman up by 16.
That was great concentration by Souza. He had a hand in his face right there and was still able to drain that one from the wing.
I tell you what, Souza is becoming more of a scorer as the season's gone along. He's really starting to find his range. If he can hit occasional threes and those mid-range jumpers take a little pressure off Ryan and Rubicino, that can be huge for them come playoff time.
Yeah, his confidence has evolved as this season has gone along, and he's, starter out there. He's running the team, but that shot has improved. We've been watching it, and the release is much better than it used to be.
Ryan drives on Chase Knowles and got it. What a shot. James Ryan falling to the ground, flipped it up with the right hand off the glass and in. Back up to an 18-point lead. There's Chase Knowles, and he's fouled. Count it. A chance for a three-point play for Chase Knowles.
That was a really nice offensive set for Windsor. Knowles coming around the pick and getting right there. He's open, getting the basketball, and great concentration to finish that one and lean in with the right hand. This is a team that makes free throws, so they're going to have to make some free throws to somehow find their way back into this basketball game.
3 personal fouls on Gunnar Walker. He will take a seat as Chase Knowles goes to the line. Under a minute to go, and that free throw is way off the mark. Boterri with the rebound. Newman with a chance to add to the lead here at the end of the third. Ryan again, no good this time, and Parker Kennedy has it. Under 40 seconds to go now in this third quarter. Started off promising for the Jags. It's now built back up to a 16-point lead for Cardinal Newman. 17 on the shot clock, 24 on the game clock. Drew loses the handle. Rubicino bringing it up the floor for Cardinal Newman. Now gets it to James Ryan. Souza will hold on to things. Shot clock is off. Newman will try to milk it all the way down under 10 and take the final shot, but Freeberg gets the steal to Roman, and Roman lays it in. Great sequence right there for Greg Freeberg as he creates the turnover on the steal, gets it to Jalen Roman, and it is 43-29 after 3. 3 quarters of play in the books here at the John Fitzgerald Gymnasium. We'll turn the page and head for the final chapter on the YSN 365.com Game of the Week.
Rainwater, groundwater, problem water.
I'm on it.
Dude, don't do it yourself.
No?
No. Leave it to the experts. With a Culligan Whole House Water Softening System, you get better water and service you can actually count on.
Hey, Culligan man.
Hey!
Oh, this is great.
I know. The only water that comes with the Culligan man.
Call your local Culligan dealer, James Fisher and Son, at 545-1330.
Tonight's game presented by title sponsor Cameron & Cameron Ranch and Vineyard Supply, delivering quality for over 40 years.
Ready for the fourth quarter now, and Newman in control, 43-29, although Windsor has made some runs, Ron. They haven't quite been able to get over the hump against the Cardinals.
Yeah, every time they try to get back into the game, they cut it to a 10 there, and Cardinal Newman came back and started firing the basketball. They won that quarter by 1 point. They trailed by 15.5. They trail by 14 right now. I think if you are Windsor, it's got to start raining threes to get back in this basketball game. Cardinal Newman has executed well on the offense and defensive end. They've just done a fantastic job executing their coach's game plan.
Freeberg trying to get another steal. He does. Chase Knowles now brings it up for Windsor. See if they have another magical fourth quarter in them, but they turn it over. This is where they took control of the game up at Windsor, although the lead wasn't this big. The hurdle wasn't this high in terms of getting over the hump on that night at Windsor.
Yeah, and you're in a gym that's your own home gym. You're more familiar with the rims. The crowd's a little bit more in your favor. And Cardinal Newman went ice cold.
Yeah, they did. They actually only scored 7 points in the entire fourth quarter on that night. James Ryan now brings it up, and he's bumped by Freeberg. Freeberg trying to turn it up a notch or two defensively for the Jags. Casa Grande still in first place. Montgomery, Windsor, and Newman tied for second. See if we can get you some scores of other games from our YSN365.com live scoring updates.
Well, Windsor's got Cardinal Newman tonight. They have to turn around and play Casa Grande on the 9th of February. And then their next game after that, they're going to turn around and play Montgomery. Excuse me, they're playing Casa Grande on the 5th and then on the 9th against Montgomery. But they've got a tough schedule here, right? They're right in the middle of it.
Montgomery led 25-20 over Creo at the half. In girls, Annalee 23, Sonoma Valley 18. That also at the half. A boys final, Cloverdale 40, Willits 34. Chase Knowles guarded by Chad Souza. Great to be bringing you these games live here. I want to thank our title sponsor once again, Les Schwab Tires of Sonoma County, with 4 dealerships here in the county, as Gabe Knight finally gets another one to drop. That's his first basket since way back at the beginning of the first quarter, and he'll try to make it a three-point play.
I think Windsor's found something here. If you take them off the dribble and get to the glass and be determined and get active, you can do it. And that's what they haven't been doing. So get to the basket, take somebody off the dribble, create the contact.
And Gabe Knight does complete the three-point play. He has 6 points now, and that makes it a 12-point game. Windsor still within striking range if they get hot. And usually at some point in time, Tucker and Knight hit multiple threes in a row, which get them over the hump. We'll see if tonight is another one of those nights for the Jaguars.
Coach Troy Taylor, he took Gabe Knight and sat him back down after that basket. Is he in foul trouble? I don't remember him having that many fouls. So I guess he's just going offense, defense with him.
I have him for 1. Newman now with a little pressure to score. The game tightening up just a little bit. Souza going to the left side. Flips it to Walker. Walker open from 17, and we've got a foul call underneath. It's going to be against Newman. And they'll take it the other way.
Yeah, Coach Bonfili wanted the basket to be good. I actually thought it went up about the same time as the foul, but if it was right after the foul, he's going to call it no good. But I think he had a good point when he was trying to point that out there.
James Ryan picked up the foul. It's his second. 8th team foul against Cardinal Newman. Both teams in the bonus with a long way to go here in the fourth quarter.
All right, here Windsor, get that basketball up the floor and get to the basket. Pick and roll, set a screen for Gabe Knight.
Chase Knowles gets it to, it was Chase Knowles, who takes the three from Kennedy. That's a big basket for him, as Knowles now has 7 points, and they cut it to single digits. A 9-point lead. Can Newman answer? Rubatino way off the mark. And Windsor has a chance to make a run. 6:04 to go.
Yeah, here was Knowles from the outside. Wallace playing off of him. Kennedy kicking it back out to him. He says, okay, well, Gunner, if you're not going to be that close to me, I'm going to shoot it and knock it down.
Souza fouls Kennedy way out away from the basket, so Kennedy's going to have a chance to shoot some free throws. 1 and 1. Free throw shooting now becomes a big issue. We're under double digits. Both teams in the bonus. And very shortly, Windsor's going to be in the double bonus.
They made 5 in the last meeting, the one that they won. They lost the first meeting 57-46 to Cardinal Newman.
Got an update from the Montgomery Creo game. It's now 49-33 Montgomery after 3. Kennedy misses the front end. You can't miss those front ends in 1-and-1 situations.
No, you can't expect to win the basketball game if you're not going to knock down those free throws. I mean, that was 2 points they could have come up with right there. And I think they were 5 of 5 in the last meeting. That was 43-36 that they won at their own gymnasium. It's impressive when you're only a sophomore and you're on the varsity. There's a big difference between sophomores and varsity players, seniors. And Damian Wallace is doing a great job for this basketball team.
Yeah, he's a guy that I think is going to really become a key member of this team over the next couple of years. He already is, but more of a role player. He comes off the bench, fills in, gives great energy on the offensive and defensive end. I look for him to start and play significant minutes next year.
Yeah, he's a piece of the puzzle that nobody else fills.
Tucker tries the three. Knight with a rebound. Knight, ooh, and he's fouled. He'll go to the line.
Well, you got to keep battling.
Too.
Dave, I thought them getting to the offensive glass was really going to be a key for them tonight. If they could get to the offensive glass, or if Cardinal Newman could keep them off. Knight getting back to the glass right there, getting free throw opportunities.
Again, another miss for Windsor at the line. They've had it at 9. If you look at the fact they've missed 2 free throws in a row, they could have it 7 right now, or maybe 6 if they go 1-1 and make the second.
Yeah, they would be within 6 making their free throws. But they didn't, and so let's see if they can get back in it here. Cardinal Newman needs to play good defense. They need to run their offensive sets. Rubatino, Ryan, Bateri, they're all capable scorers. Wallace off the dribble.
Knight missed them both. That's a tough one right there. Gunnar Walker over to Wallace. Nice block out by Boteri. However, the ball was still alive and it went off a Jag, so Newman hangs on to that one. We call that a team rebound.
Yeah, how often do we see Boteri down there in the scrapping? He's just on the floor. He just does it all out there on the floor for this Cardinal Newman basketball team.
Inbound goes to Wallace. Chase Knowles tried to tap it off Wallace, but did not get that call. 5:14 to go. Still a lot of time in this basketball game if Windsor can get on a hot streak. Credit Newman's defense for making it almost impossible for the Jags to close this game any closer than 9. That's about as close as they've been since the first quarter. Here's Wallace guarded by Knowles. It's Walker from 15. Well off the mark. Kept alive, and it is Parker Kennedy who comes down with it for Windsor. Under 5 to play. Wallace taps it out of bounds. It'll stay with the Jags.
All right, Gabe Knight coming back in for offense. Get to the offensive glass or run a pick and roll. And with Tucker being guarded by Walker, I think he still can take him off the dribble. We haven't seen it tonight, but let's see if it happens.
Knowles over Rubatino. Knight tries to crash the glass, doesn't get it. McCarthy comes down with rebound number 4. And Newman looks to add to an 11-point lead. Wallace, nice pump fake. Ryan up top. Newman in no hurry right now, trying to slow the game down. They've already scored 10 points more than they scored in the last meeting, and James Ryan goes to the free throw line.
Yeah, they did everything they could to stop Ryan from getting in the lane and shooting that shot, but he's just quick, he's crafty, and he has the ability to get in the lane and elevate. That's where he wants to operate, and they knew it. Everybody converged, but he was still able to get that shot off and pick up the foul. We highlighted him in the opening. In the first game between these two teams, he had 14. They won that game. The last game he had 6. How many has he got tonight?
That would be 8.
He's got 8, okay.
Halfway through the fourth quarter, the lead is 12 for Newman. Gabe Knight trying to make something happen. Too strong, off the glass. Kennedy tries to keep it alive, but it's Connor McCarthy who ends up with his 5th rebound, and Newman with the lead and the leather brings it up the floor. Rubatino guarded by Kennedy. Rubatino had a huge first half, now has 23 points overall tonight as James Ryan now takes it into the corner. And again, Newman will work on the shot clock, take it under 10 before they attack. The shot clock at 10. Ryan with Knight. 5 to shoot. Ryan's going to have to hustle. He finds Gunnar Walker, and now it's Gabe Knight who comes down with his 8th rebound. A little over 3 minutes to go now.
Cardinal Newman has done a fantastic job picking up in transition. They've been able to identify Tucker and Knight and Kennedy in transition and stop them from shooting open three-point shots. It's been an impressive performance tonight.
I agree.
Because these guys can shoot. I mean, they can shoot from the three-point stripe, or they can shoot from 5 feet behind the three-point stripe.
Again, Newman will wait till the shot clock gets under 10 before they attack. James Ryan peeks at the clock, sees that it's under 10, goes to the rack hard, no good. Connor McCarthy with an offensive rebound, and he gets to the line. Connor McCarthy has also been we talked about Damian Wallace, he's been a great role player this year as well. Comes in and really adds defensive stamina, gets great rebounds, and is kind of an enforcer when he comes in, not afraid to bounce it around a little bit inside.
Yeah, he does a little bit of everything, and he's done a great job defending tonight on the perimeter. That's been really important for Cardinal Newman to not allow those three-point shooters to get those open looks. And he's been a big part of that here tonight.
McCarthy gets both. He has 3 points, all at the free throw line here in the fourth quarter, and the lead's back up to 14.
You know, at this point, what great practice for Cardinal Newman to have to run the clock down, try to get it down to 10 seconds, and then run your offensive set and still be able to get a shot off.
And there's Walker fouling Brent Tucker, who will go to the line.
I believe that's the first time we've seen Tucker take him off the dribble. He got in the lane, picked up the foul, got to the free throw line.
That's 4 fouls on Gunnar Walker. Tucker gets the first one.
Yep, he's averaging 11.4 points a game. Second leading scorer here for Windsor. Well, I'm going to say that this game is not over yet. Cardinal Newman has control of it, but with 2 minutes to go, you just don't know.
Parker Kennedy with a nice offensive rebound, and he travels.
Nope.
Could have maybe got a tie-up call out of that.
Yeah, if the defender has his hand on the basketball, it can't be a walk on you. It's got to either be a jump ball or a foul.
Long pass ahead to Boterri. Boterri trying to spin to the rack on Drew. Connor McCarthy with a clutch rebound right there, which will give Newman a chance to run clock. Coach Bonchvili signaling over to his guards to run the clock down, and that's exactly what they'll do. A foul call underneath now, and it looks like Damian Wallace is going to go to the free throw line.
Well, one thing is everybody knows, if you're an official out here on the floor and you're going to make a call, a lot of it depends on your angle. Sometimes you can't see things. So, you know, from my angle, it was pretty clear, but I know the officials were in a different position on that one. They've done a great job all night tonight. We've seen great officiating most of the year, but
Wallace gets the first.
That was costly for Windsor on that one.
Second one off the mark. Tucker there for the rebound. Windsor's done a nice job rebounding all night. There's Tucker. Got it. Finally, Brent Tucker. He hadn't scored since the second quarter on a field goal, and a quick timeout taken. We'll step aside ourselves. 1:45 to go in the ball game. Windsor trying to make a late run. It is 40-50-38.
AAU girls basketball attending the top NCAA showcases in the country, with former players competing at the NCAA Division I, II, III, and NAIA levels, winners of 2 Pacific District Level 1 national qualifiers. For the best in girls AAU basketball, it's the North Bay Elite.
Rainwater, groundwater, problem water.
I'm on it.
Dude,
Don't do it yourself.
No?
No. Leave it to the experts. With a Culligan Whole House Water Softening System, you get better water and service you can actually count on.
Hey, Culligan man.
Hey!
Oh, this is great.
I know. The only water that comes with the Culligan man.
Call your local Culligan dealer, James Fisher and Son, at 545-1330.
I want to thank Culligan Water of Sonoma County for sponsoring tonight's game. It's great to get support from the business community here on the Game of the Week. Les Schwab Tires, you see their big banner right there. They are our title sponsor tonight. And here we go. It is Cardinal Newman with the lead and the ball with under 2 minutes to go. James Ryan gets it across the timeline, and Windsor will have to start thinking about fouling quickly. Rubatino is the guy they pick, and he'll go to the line.
I think Windsor's really discovered something here in this fourth quarter with Knight off the dribble and Tucker off the dribble. I mean, these guys shoot the basketball so well from outside. Kennedy, Knowles, all these guys can shoot the basketball. But if you're a threat like that and they're going to overplay you on the perimeter, then you either have to set some screens and go backdoor, or you got to take them off the dribble and take advantage of what they give you. And Brett showed that on the last drive.
Rubatino gets them both. Newman has definitely done a better job at the free throw line tonight, and that has been a big reason why Windsor hasn't been able to make the comeback run they've needed. 1:25 to go. Tucker from way beyond the arc, no good. An offensive rebound for Freeberg, and he'll go to the line.
As we advance through the league, and everybody finishes the league, and then goes to the NBL tournament, whoever makes it to that. We've seen it so many times over the years, the games that we've covered. Free throws can end up being the difference. And if you're not practicing your free throws all the time, and even not when you're not in practice, you should. Because if your team's going to win, you got to make your free throws.
And we're really heading into crunch time, just a week and a half left of regular season, then the NBL and SCL playoff tournaments, and after that it's NCS. This is, for me, the most exciting time of the year. The high school playoffs winding down, the NCS, the run to NorCal, and keeping that dream alive of trying to get to a state championship.
Yeah, and there are a lot of talented teams in this North Bay League here. And they all have experience, and it actually helps them all to play each other, to interact, to try to win this NBL tournament. I always think back when I was working, doing that TV show over in Sacramento for the Kings, and Sacramento went 14-29 against the Lakers in that game, and they would have advanced to play the Nets if they would have shot better from the free throw line. So you got to make your free throws out there.
Tom Bonfili takes a quick timeout. Tomorrow night we'll have some SCL action for you in Petaluma. It is Piner on the road to take on Petaluma. And the SCL is also a dogfight. We've got Elsie Allen in the lead, Piner and Annalee trailing. So that's going to be a big game tomorrow night for the Prospectors as they try and stay in the hunt. And how about Elsie Allen looking for their first Sonoma County League title ever after moving over from the NBL? First league title of any kind, I should say.
Yeah, well, they got their injured forward back, and Busby he went off for 42 the other night. I actually think as good as Cardinal Rubatino is, as good as Septimo is, I think Busby might have the best shot in the league, but I don't know, in the area. But we'll see as this thing unfolds.
By that tournament at the JC, both championships, SCL and NBL, back-to-back nights. Such a great showcase. Want to get out there, get early. It's always a packed house for both the SCL girls and boys, and then the NBL girls and boys. And we're going to try to bring both of those championship nights to you live here on YSN365.com. So if you're interested in becoming a part of that and sponsoring those games, now is the time to get on board, because we could end up with a big audience for those games.
Yeah, it's fantastic to be able to cover them. I wish when I was back in high school that some of our games were covered. I remember we had one game on the radio the whole entire season, and everybody was glued to it. So it was just on the radio. But to be able to cover these games like this, it's fantastic. That's why I drive all the way down from Lake Tahoe to be a part of this. I just love I love being able to broadcast these games, and it's just great to be a part of.
Yeah, the technology has changed so much. The fact that we're able to bring this to you live anywhere in the world, who would have thought of that 15 years ago? We were just putting out a little cable signal, doing that little cable TV thing, and that's obsolete now. It's all about the World Wide Web and what we're able to do here, broadcasting these games live as Gabe Knight at the line makes the first one.
Yeah, Gabe Knight, terrific three-point shooter. Cardinal Newman denied them the outside shot tonight, and just makes me think. I was reading in the paper today, and I just kind of came across this. In 1980, Larry Bird made the very first three-point shot in the NBA All-Star game that they ever had. It was, of course, a 79-80 when they implemented the three-point shot in the NBA. And so today, in history, in 1980.
So a break here, 55-42, just 57.1 to go. We'll take a break and be back with the conclusion of tonight's game in just a moment.
Rainwater, groundwater, problem water.
I'm on it.
Dude, don't do it yourself.
No?
No. Leave it to the experts. With a Culligan Whole House Water Softening System, you get better water and service you can actually count on.
Hey, Culligan man.
Hey!
Oh, this is great.
I know. The only water that comes with the Culligan man.
Call your local Culligan dealer, James Fisher & Son, at 545-1330.
My wife and I were stranded after suffering our second flat tire on a hot August day. Our three horses were thirsty and there was no help in sight. We called Les Schwab, and luckily Justin answered the phone.
Les Schwab Tire Center.
And even though it was after closing, Justin came to our rescue. He drove an hour with tires and even brought water for our horses. We'll never buy tires anywhere else.
Take care now.
I'm Larry Butler, and that's my Les Schwab story.
Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
Here we go. Final minute of play, and Cardinal Newman has the ball. Their cheerleaders having a good time tonight, of course, enjoying a 13-point lead down the stretch. Windsor would fall 2 games behind in the league battle. Newman would stay a game back, depending on what happens with Casa Grande tonight. Newman just playing keep away, under 10 seconds to go. Wallace with 5 to shoot. Boteri at the buzzer, doesn't get it. And now just 20 seconds to play. Windsor never got going with their big shooters. Gabe Knight made 1 3. Brent Tucker made just 1 3 himself. And probably hasn't been very many games that has happened this year for the Windsor Jaguars. Newman does indeed avenge the road loss at Windsor, and they win this one 55-42. A very impressive defensive performance for the Cardinals, perhaps inspired by the Lady Cardinals last night. They really put the screws to Windsor, and they win this one by 13. That's a big victory this late in the year.
Cardinal Newman held Windsor to 5 points in the first quarter. With almost 2 minutes gone, they still had 5 points, and that was really the difference in the game. Since that point, Windsor played them almost even. So Cardinal Newman came out, set the tone, the full court pressure, the denying the perimeter, outside three-point shot, and playing great help defense and getting to the defensive glass. I really did think coming into tonight's game that Cardinal Newman on the defensive glass was the biggest key to this basketball game. They did a great job. They denied Windsor. Windsor wasn't able to get enough shots off. They didn't score enough points. They lost by 13.
That's going to do it for the action here tonight, but do not go away. We'll be back with our Les Schwab Tires player of the game coming up after this.
Are you searching for a great high school experience? Cardinal Newman is the only Catholic college preparatory high school in Santa Rosa. Be a part of a community where you will be known and supported during these key years of growth. Be a part of a fun and positive student body who embraces challenge and responsibility through faith, academics, service, visual and performing arts, and competition. Learn how to apply at cardinalnewman.org. North Bay Elite AAU girls basketball attending the top NCAA showcases in the country, with former players competing at the NCAA Division I, II, III, and NAIA levels, winners of 2 Pacific District Level 1 national qualifiers. For the best in girls AAU basketball, it's the North Bay Elite. Tonight's game presented by title sponsor Cameron & Cameron Ranch and Vineyard Supply, delivering quality for over 40 years. Ryan Mortgage Company, locally owned and dedicated to offering the best possible service for over 40 years. Ryan Mortgage has provided thousands of North Bay customers with loans for residential, multifamily, land, construction, and commercial real estate. Let their experienced team of professionals guide you through the process at Ryan Mortgage Company.
Rainwater, groundwater, problem water.
I'm on it.
Dude, don't do it yourself.
No?
No. Leave it to the experts. With a Culligan Whole House Water Softening System, you get better water and service you can actually count on.
Hey, Culligan man.
Hey!
Oh, this is great.
I know. The only water that comes with the Culligan man.
Call your local Culligan dealer, James Fisher & Son, at 545-1330.
Welcome back. The final score 55-42. Cardinal Newman over Windsor. We're now with our player of the game, Damian Wallace, who came off the bench tonight. 10 points, 2 steals. The defense was really good tonight. What did you guys talk about in trying to shut down this Windsor team? And obviously it worked.
Our game plan was to come in and stop their three-point shooters, take them off the three-point line, make them drive, and take jump shots because they're not jump shooters. So that was our plan.
You had a couple of really nice steals, which created transition points. What do you try to do when you come in off the bench in terms of bringing energy to the team and help for wins?
I just try to dive for those 50-50 balls. Just get those balls that we're not supposed to get.
What's it been like fitting in this year as a sophomore on a team that's laden with so many good juniors and seniors this year?
I just try to come in and do what I can do, try to help them out, bring energy, and it may not be like scoring, but just try to help them out. And
I thought you were really impressive out there on the defensive end. I thought that really made a difference. You came up with a number of steals. You ran the floor. You were able to score baskets. Can you tell me about the defensive strategy against these guys? They're a three-point shooting team all the time. What was the strategy coming in?
Just to take them off the three-point line. Don't let them pressure them up the court. Don't let them get easy up the court. Get their energy down, and just so that way at the end of the game we have way more energy than they do.
How did you feel about the way they handled your full court press? Did you think that was good for you guys?
I think we did pretty good. We got them tired. They were kind of towards the end getting tired, so that's what our plan was all along.
Your role as this season has evolved has changed a bit. You didn't play as many minutes in the beginning of the season, but you earned those minutes, and you're coming in. What is your work ethic to be able to do that?
Just go out there, play harder every practice, get better, and then it shows in the game.
You had a big win tonight, You pretty happy about that?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I was going to ask you, what does this mean to you guys after losing to them on their floor and the big celebration at their student body section? What does it mean to keep them quiet tonight and to pull off the win and avenge that loss?
It just keeps us in the running for NBL or championship, so that's why we went out and then we're pretty set. We went out.
What a race. I mean, you guys were sitting at 17-0 at one point in time. They gave you that first loss. Montgomery pinned another one on you, but now you guys are just a game back of Casa Grande with a week and a half left in the regular season. What do you think you guys need to do to try to pull this off?
Just continue what we've been doing, work harder in practice, and then it shows in the game.
Damian, you're a fantastic basketball player. You're really strong underneath. You're very left-hand dominant. How much are you working on that right hand to improve? Because I think if you work on that right hand and you become really dominant, I think that you're going to be almost unstoppable.
Yeah, I'm working on it. It's coming with time, so, I mean, it's not going to be as good as my left, but we're getting there.
Yeah, just keep working on it. You're doing a really good job, man.
And one last thing I want to talk to you about, the performance by Connor Rubatino tonight. He came out red hot tonight and really got you guys going offensively, although the defense was strong all night long.
Yeah, he's a baller. He was not feeling good coming in the game, but he fought through it and showed off in the game. He had a nice.
Damian, congratulations. Fantastic job tonight. You finished with 10 points, 2 steals. We have a T-shirt for you. from Sonoma Design Apparel, and we look forward to seeing you again real soon.
Thank you.
All right, there's Damian Wallace, our player of the game, who brings some great energy off the bench for this Cardinal Newman team. And they pull off a big win tonight, 55-42, a 13-point victory against Windsor. Windsor made it close a couple times, Ron, but they couldn't quite get over the hump against Newman tonight.
No, they cut it to 9 at one point, but Cardinal Newman just kept playing good defense, and then they got to Rubatino and James Ryan to score the basketball. Player of the game, Damian Wallace, he was really important on the defensive end. When you steal the basketball and you run down and lay it in, that really takes the momentum away from another team that's cut it to 9 points and trying to get back into a game. And he was a really big part of that. It's tough to come off the bench sometimes and come in and play well right away because, in warm-ups you're out here and you're all warmed up when you're getting ready to start a basketball game. But you have to come off the bench. It's more difficult. I thought Damian Wallace was really big. I thought for Windsor, they got to turn around and play Casa Grande and then turn around and play Montgomery. They just need to learn from this game. Chalk it up to a loss, go back, play Casa Grande, and see if they can come up with a victory and maintain their presence in the league.
All right, well, another great night of high school basketball here on YSN365.com. Make sure you check in tomorrow morning for our scoreboard and recaps. So we'll also update the standings for you. And we'll have more live coverage tomorrow night from Petaluma from the Sonoma County League. Until then, for Ron Weedy, our entire crew, camera operators Lorenzo Merlin, Nate Cox, and Matt Cox. Our director, as always, Brian Leach, engineer and replay director Marty Kornfeld, Nick Finucci on graphics, Marco Cuevas doing the audio. I'm Dave Cox for Ron Weeby. We'll see you again tomorrow night right here on YSN365.com.
One Saturday night, someone went through town slashing tires. Sunday morning, one of Andy Spencer's customers at Les Schwab went to Andy's house to see if he could help.
You got it.
Andy got in his truck and drove up and down the streets, helping anyone who needed it. He worked at it pretty hard most of the day.
That's all of them.
Andy didn't tell anybody no. He really went above and beyond his duties as a manager and a neighbor. I'm James Hamilton, and that's my Les Schwab story.
Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
Wild California, featuring the crispiest, crunchiest, most delicious and healthy snack around. Watch out, potato chips. Things are about to get wild. Available in Sonoma County at Oliver's Market, G&G, and Molesberry's.
My wife and I were stranded after suffering our second flat tire on a hot August day. Our 3 horses were thirsty and there was no help in sight. We called Les Schwab, and luckily Justin answered the phone.
Les Schwab Tire Center.
And even though it was after closing, Justin came to our rescue. He drove an hour with tires and even brought water for our horses. We'll never buy tires anywhere else.
Take care now.
I'm Larry Butler, and that's my Les Schwab story.
Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
Are you searching for a great high school experience? Cardinal Newman is the only Catholic college preparatory high school in Santa Rosa. Be a part of a community where you will be known and supported during these key years of growth. Be a part of a fun and positive student body who embraces challenge and responsibility through faith, academics, service, visual and performing arts, and competition. Learn how to apply at cardinalnewman.org.